Hi, everyone. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I just want to make a video, kind of explain some things because this is the start of week 2 for the school year, and we're really jumping into real school. So I wanted to take some time to explain a few things. I've got some notes, some papers I want to show, just make sure we're all on the same page. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always send me a message, and I will be glad to help explain anything. First thing I want to talk about is our fluency. If you've had me in the past nearly 10 years. I've been doing Fluency for a long time, so this may sound pretty familiar. The Fluency looks like this page. This week it has the 4 square up at the top. Uh, and the way Fluency works is every Monday, I have the kids sit at my desk one on one, and we read that page for 1 minute. So, what I've marked on there is just what they were able to do in 1 minute. If they missed any words, I went ahead and underlined it in blue. I also have the bracket at the end where they finished at 1 minute. You'll also notice down at the bottom there's a score, how many words they read, minus how many words they needed help with, gives them their final score. So if they read 40 words, but they needed help on 5, 40 minus 5 is 35. Uh, that score that's in blue, Monday will always be blue. That score really doesn't mean anything other than just letting us know how they're doing at brand new text. Um, so this is the first week everyone had the same fluency. For some, it was way too hard, which is totally understandable. For some, it was way too easy, and they flew through it. Uh, as starting next week, I will pass out more differentiated ones. So if it was way too easy, I'm going to give them more difficult reading text. If it was way too hard, I'll go back and we can find something that's more on level. Anyway, so I give it out on Monday. They read through it, mark anything. I made a copy, sent it home with you. I have a copy here at school. We will practice it in school. The idea is that you guys will also practice at home, and then on Friday they'll read it for 1 minute again, and whatever score they get on Friday will be what I take the grade out of. The scoring for this, if they can read 43 words a minute, that's 100%. The state of Indiana says first graders should be able to read 43 words a minute, so that's why we use that. So if they read 50 words, they 50 words and don't miss any. 50 minus 0 is 50. They don't get over 100. It's just 100%. If they read, 22 words in 1 minute, well, 22 divided by 43, that's, basically 50%, give or take. So that wouldn't be a great score. This first one, there will be some kids I know that probably won't score great because it was too difficult. We just have so many things to do. I didn't have time to pull out a new one and something a little bit easier. So I kind of want to see. This also lets me know. Let me see how well they work at difficult problems. So I kind of leave everyone at the same paper the first week. So at home to practice, I would, especially if it was pretty difficult, I would not worry about reading the whole thing. I would say, let's take a sentence. Let's get comfortable with that, being able to read these words and understand these words. Maybe the next night you do 2 sentences. It really, this at most, if you spend more than 5 minutes practicing this, that's probably more than you need. Read it once or twice, maybe pick out the words that are troublesome, maybe practice those, some flashcards or something like that. I'm hoping later in the school year when we don't have to learn so many new things, the kids will make their own flashcards, and that will be something else that comes home. I haven't been great at doing that in the past. I'm hoping to start that. So fluency, read through it, check anything you have a problem with. The words up here at the top, there's directions here. You can do those if you want to kind of pick out, you can color, whatever you need to use this paper for to help practice at home. That paper does not need to come back. I have a copy of it. So that's the fluency. Again, very similar to what I've done in the past. The other thing I want to talk about is our homework guide. This is actually a copy of last week's. I can't find a copy of this week's. It looks like this has the dates on it. You'll see the specials on the side. We are all on the same special. We had one day last week where we tried something. It got rejected pretty quickly. No one was real happy with that answer, which is fine. Growing pains. So we're all on the same special. If I sent you a private message about switching specials, ignore it. Don't worry about it. So main thing is make sure on PE wearing tennis shoes. It's a real big deal. You'll notice at the bottom though, there will be a yellow and blue highlighted section. That's our spelling words. I kind of have it on this one. It was highlighted yellow, but I didn't print in color. So the spelling words, there's 2 spelling words everyone's going to have. We're going to have the words at and am. You can actually see them behind me. And then we'll have the words The, like, and see, those are our sight words. On Friday, those 5 words will be given as a spelling test, as well as 4 surprise words, which I've kept this system the same for many years, so this might also sound familiar. Um, the surprise word, instead of just saying, here's 9 words to study, uh, we teach in first grade, here's some words, and if you can spell at, then you should be able to spell something like cat or bat. If you can spell am, you should be able to spell ham or Sam. We're teaching the skills of spelling rather than just memorizing 9 words. So I don't tell you the 4 surprise words. Um, and that's the reason I'm wanting them to learn the skill. Eventually, as we figure out who's where, the stronger spellers may get more difficult surprise words. For example, if we're using at one point, I may give a student something like attitude and they have to add on to that. Definitely not happening this week, so don't freak out. There'll be short CVC, 3 or 4 letter style words. If you look on the back of that homework guide, I don't have anything on this copy because this was last week's. But on the back, there's a lot of examples and directions on how you can help your kids at home. There's also a page coming home today that we call the cut and paste. It has letters cut and pasted on with our words. You'll see at, am, the, like, see, and then you'll see a list of a few others, more than 4. Those words would be good words to practice. Those would be the type of words that they will probably have on their spelling test. I'm not guaranteeing those words will be there, but those are the type to practice. Some kids today didn't finish gluing those on. We were trying to cover so many things today. I just sent it home. You have a list you can practice. So that's our spelling. There's 9 there. At, am, the, like, see, 4 surprise words. The last word, the 10th one to round out that grade, is usually a create your own. Number 10, I'll say write another word that has the at family. So they could do flat. It has to be a word they haven't already used. So if I gave them the word bat, they can't write bat again. And it has to be a real word. Can't make up words. Sometimes I'll also use that 10th one. If we're working on nouns, I might say, write down any noun. And then that would be their 10th spelling word. So it kind of switches. So that's their spelling grade. On that spelling grade, I'll also do handwriting on Friday. It will be in red. So I color code it. I label it's pretty easy. But then on the back of that spelling, I do another grade, a 3rd grade called their sentence writing. I will say a sentence out and they will have to write that sentence down. So I think the example I have on the back of that homework guide says, the cat ran away. So if that was the sentence I said, I will say it as many times as they need to hear, and they will have to write it. I'm grading 4 things. Capital letter for the. Do they have a period at the end or correct punctuation when we get to question marks? Do they have enough words? So in that sentence, the cat ran away. Should be 4 words. If they split a and way, I would count 5 words if they split that apart at this stage in first grade. And then the last point is spelling. Most of those words should be spelled right. A way, I'm not going to count off. If I give that sentence, I don't expect all these kids to know how to spell that. So they could try that one out. But even ran, they should probably be able to spell. Cat follows into our spelling pattern with the ATs. And then the is one of our sight words. So they should definitely be able to have some spelling into that. The problem with that is it's out of 4 points. If they forget their capital letter and their period, they got a 2 out of 4 if they did everything else right, which is only a 50%. So that grade early in the year can be kind of heavy, but I do that because those are writing mechanics we have to get down. So definitely at home, you can practice by saying a sentence and having them write it down. Even if it's not spelled correctly, work on writing mechanics, capital letter, period. We're going to start right away on those because I hear it from the other hallway, 3rd, 4th grade teachers don't capitalize. They don't use periods. So we try to do that well now. So that's the spelling. Spelling is the biggest change. Homework guide, a lot of information on there. Read over it. Let me know if you have any questions. You'll see on there, there's things about math. This week in math, we're just doing numbers 1 through 50, counting on writing correctly, make sure we're not flipping numbers, writing them backwards or anything. We didn't practice much math today because we were doing so many other things. One thing that will happen on Fridays, though, is our timed math test, which I haven't explained on the back of there, but basically they'll have a math paper flipped over, say go, they flip it, they will have 20 math problems. They have 1 minute to answer these. They are grouped into like patterns. So this week we're just doing +0. 2 plus 0, 5 plus 0, 0 plus 9, and they will have to answer those in 1 minute. After the 1 minute, they flip it over, they're done. I'll grade it. If they get 80% or higher, I consider that passing, and they won't have to do it. If they get 100%, they never have to do that page again. If they don't score an 80, I let them I keep whatever score they got, and then next week they do it again, same paper, and then slowly their grade will go up. So if the first week they got a 5%, they only got one problem right. The next week maybe they got 10%. I go in the grade book and actually switch the grade, so they're always increasing their score. For some of our kids, I know working quickly has kind of been a little bit of an issue. It takes a little bit of practice. Usually a kid cries on a math time test at first, but it really builds that math fact fluency. So we'll work through it. +0 should be fine. We haven't actually had a lot of time to actually work on that this week yet. We've missed so many other things. So I don't think +0 will be hard, but just so you know, they will always make their score better. I think that's about everything. I sent home a picture order form if you'd like to order pictures for yearbook. If you haven't sent in headphones, I know there's a few students today who didn't have headphones. Please send them in. Some students had Bluetooth headphones. We're not using Bluetooth. I'm not messing with them pairing correctly. So if they have the audio cord, that's fine. If not, please get some new ones. I'm not messing with Bluetooth. If you haven't sent in money for snacks, or to try and do a $20 for each semester, we would like to have that in as quickly as possible. We've bought some snacks, but I'm looking at now and there's no way it's going to last us all the way to Christmas. So if you haven't sent that in, please send it. If you're not sure, please let me know. I think everyone's brought in most of their, I'm looking at their desk. I think everyone's brought in most of their school supplies. If you know you forgot something, you can send it. If you're not sure, send it in. If we don't need it, we'll send it back. I think that's everything for today. Hope you guys have a great night. If you have any questions, let me know.